What is up, everyone? It is DJ Martini Midwest Reviews coming at you with another video for my channel today. I have a really good one on the Oculus Quest 2. Today we're going to get into a lot of details, tell you what's in the box, do a little mini review, and get you all the specs, but then also just tell you, is it worth it in 2023 to still pick up the Quest 2? There is a Quest 3 coming out. There's the VR2 from PlayStation that's out. So I'm going to give you some positives and negatives on all of those and kind of talk about what the Quest does good and if it's still a value in 2023. So thank you so much for tuning in to DJ Martini Midwest Reviews. If you've never tuned into my channel, just know that I love to do reviews. I love to help. I'm just here to help. I want to do all that research for you so you don't have to. Give it to you as easy as possible, and then leave some links in case you're interested in some of those products. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, share, hit those bell notifications, and just join this Martini Nation that is steadily growing. That's fantastic. I'm super excited, and all my subscribers so far are awesome, with awesome feedback. Very nice. Everything is great. Feedback is exceptional, and so thank you. All right. Let's get into the video without further ado, and we'll talk about this Oculus Quest 2. So I do have the box back here. I did pick it up about a year ago, so I've had this for a while. I've definitely tested it out, and it's definitely been working fantastic. Now, this was also a refurbished model straight from the company that I did pick up from Amazon, and it said that it was, straight from the company, refurbished, comes with all the accessories that it's supposed to. And I did pick it up for probably at least $50 cheaper than the retail price, which was at $300 at the time. So this is a Oculus Quest 2, and it was a 128 gig model. It does come with the actual headset itself, which is right here. It does come with the touch controls, which they're calling them. It does come with a little power brick and a USB Type-C plug, and it does come with a little glasses extender is what it's called, but it's not really much to look at. And it talks about some of the games on the back, and pretty much the box here is what it is. So there we go with that. Now it is hooked up with Facebook and the Meta universe that is coming out with the Oculus program. Let's go ahead and look at the items right away. Take care of that first, and then we'll go into all the specs and all that jargon, because it'll just be a long talk of all the things that we're going to talk about today. So here's the actual controllers right here. These are called touch controllers. They do have little circles on the top like this. I still have my little left and right stickers. I love things that say left and right. But once you get them in your hands, these are not as confusing as some. Like the new VR2, I kind of get confused because you actually stick your hand through the circle and then into the controller like this. These are very, very easy to use. It looks like on the new ones, they're pretty much getting rid of these circle sensors. I'm guessing that's kind of what they are, which I think is good, because I do notice that, especially on the VR2, that I'll smack things with them. But these are a little smaller, so I've noticed that less. And so I do like the setup of these. They do have a battery inside of them, so you do have to put batteries in them. But for the most part, they work really good. You got nice triggers. The buttons are very nice. You got some side buttons right here. And then, like I said, you have A, B, and X, Y on one, A, B on the other. Sticks are very nice. And then you have your two. You have a 3-line and an Oculus button as well, which takes you to your menus and things like that. So the controllers are nice. They do have the little extra wrist holders. I don't wear them, I'll admit that, but you should wear them. I never use them. These are all adult used. My kids don't use these, so I have another one that I use for them. But like I said, if they were to use them like the Wii controllers and things, I would make them wear these, because these can fly out of your hands and break some stuff. So just something there to talk about. But other than that, I really like the way they feel in your hands. The way the sensors work and everything has been fantastic, and I've had no issues with that. So here's the actual headset itself. And what's cool about this is, like I said, this is all you need compared to some other systems. The VR2 needs a PlayStation 5, so you have to have a $400 PlayStation 5 for that to work. And then you also have to pay $450 for the VR2. So that's a $950 investment that you've just made into that system. This is $300, and this is all you need. This is $300, and this is all you need. I'm going to say that. This is all you need, and it's very, very cool. It is pretty well built. The only thing is, some people are going to have some issues with certain things about this, and a lot of people have an issue with this little head strap. So people buy really nice ones, but the positive on that is that this has been out for a while, so they have really nice headbands, headsets that only cost between $50 to $80, or even cheaper. So you can get this fully replaced and with no problem at a cheap price, and even some of those will include extra batteries to keep this running a little bit longer. So very positive. I'll put one in the link that I really saw, had a lot of great reviews and looked really good. I haven't purchased anything extra because I'm okay with this strap. It works okay, and this actual unit fits on my face pretty well. Now, if it was uncomfortable or was doing something wrong, because everybody's head is going to be different, then I would absolutely probably pick up a headband for this. But like I said, for me, it's pretty comfortable the way it is, so I'm okay with just having this head strap. Now, the only thing wrong with this head strap in the end is, like I said, some people might find it uncomfortable, but also it can get dirty, sweaty, those types of things, and you literally kind of just have to hand clean it. If you wanted to clean it, you'd have to hand scrub this very carefully and take this off, but you can't really like put it through a washing machine or something like that. So the actual face unit itself is nice, but I want to say that this little nose part is kind of long, and that's one of the reasons that I bought a little extra adapter cover as well, not only to put some color on it, but it actually covers some of this nose hole up, so that way I don't get light, because it was too long, and so light would actually come in and it would kind of ruin the VR feel of everything. If you get extra light, it needs to be really dark in there. So if you get extra light, it kind of ruins that feel. So with that little adapter, it did improve my experience, so I would be a fan of that, and also it gives just a little bit more cushion along your face as well. So another thing is you can adjust these eye lenses, but you physically just have to kind of stick your hand in here, and you can see I'm moving that, and you just go in there and you move them. Some of the nicer, like the PlayStation and other units, you can actually have a little toggle that you'll adjust them forward, and they'll adjust forward and back, or sorry, side to side. But these don't have that, but like I said, I'm okay with adjusting them the way they are, but that will limit some of the adjustments. So some people might not find that perfect adjustment, but for the most part, luckily, I was able to find it with the adjustments that I can make. So pretty good there. Now, on this, there's all kinds of cameras and sensors. You can see them all around. There's a volume button on the bottom right here. You can see that. And on this side, you have your power button and another light that you could see when the item is on, when it needs charge, when it's low, those types of things. You also have a 3.5mm jack and your USB Type-C hub right there for charging, and so you can plug a pair of headphones in, which is a fantastic feature because a lot of things have been going away from that 3.5mm jack. These do have them. In all honesty, the speakers in this are fantastic, and they're so well hidden. They're like within this bar right here, and they're perfectly like aligned with your ears that you literally look around and you're like, where did that sound come from? And it actually sounds really good, in my opinion. So I don't think you need to upgrade them, but if you want, you can. The only thing I can say is that at full volume, at max volume, they do distort a little bit. They don't sound fantastic, but I do like the speakers. They're perfectly like hidden, and they sound really, really good. And so when you're wearing these, you're like, wow, where's that sound coming from? You're looking around, and I will give that a great design effort by Oculus for that, because that really surprised me compared to them like PlayStation VR 2 with these little earbuds that you have to put in your ear. No, I'd rather not put earbuds in my ear. I'd rather just use headphones on those. I wish they had some kind of speaker system like this. I do like the way that the speakers sound on this. So That's this. This is very, very light compared to like a PlayStation VR. I have the original one here, and this is so much lighter and slimmer, and you can see, I mean, just by comparison, you know, that this is just, you know, there's a lot going on here with the cord too and all kinds of stuff, that the Oculus is just more mobile, it's lighter, and you know, this is all you need. This is all you need. I'm gonna keep saying that. All right, so let's go into the specs, because I got a lot of things I want to talk about here, and you know, give you all my positives and negatives on this item. So start right from the beginning, that the Meta Oculus Quest 2 does cost $299, which is a fantastic price right now for a virtual reality type unit. It has 128 gigs, which is a little bit slim. They do have a 256 gig model that's $350, so $50 more, which would probably be a good investment, because I do tend to fill up games and then I have to erase a game and put a different game on, which is a little annoying. For the most part, it's okay at 128 gigs. Now, they do have pretty good display in this, which is a lot better right off the bat than the original PlayStation VR, which is pretty old now, but it is better absolutely than that one. So you're actually taking a step up right away, you know, compared to some other VRs, with an 18 by 32 by 19 by 20 per eye at 60 hertz display. It can get all the way up to 90, but that's probably not going to find a lot of games that support that. And also they're saying 72 hertz as well, so it'd be between 90 and 60 hertz is where you're going to be coming close on most things that you're using. A lot of connection with your Facebook. So as I said earlier, you're going to have to log into your Facebook to use the Oculus. So you need to make sure that you're in good standing with Facebook or a Facebook account, and you're going to have to log into Facebook to be able to use the Oculus. So just something to put in there, that you're going to have some kind of Facebook account to use the Oculus. So just something that you should know. The refresh rate at between 90 and 72 hertz, probably be around 60 most of the time, but the display looks pretty crisp, pretty clear, pretty good for when it came out, you know, a couple years ago. So the next thing we're going to talk about is that Snapdragon. It does have a Snapdragon XR2, which is pretty much made for VR. It's, you know, was the top of the line for VR type things, made for units like this. So something to put out there. And it's a standalone unit. Like I've said before, this is all you need. You don't need to buy a console. You don't need to buy accessories. You can hook it up to a computer, but you got to have a really good computer to be able to process that VR. But you can connect it, so you can work with other things like Steam VR. You can connect it and play some of their games. But some of their capabilities are limited, but you can do it. There is some options to be able to get there. So that's something that's positive as well. The tracking, everything with the controllers and everything worked out. The actual unit itself is cool. They do have some features with mixed reality, which kind of means that you can kind of see through with the cameras of the VR that PlayStation isn't really doing right now. They have the capabilities to do that, but they're not really using it. So you can, when you're in mid-game with the Oculus, you can kind of tap it on the side and it will let you see through to your surroundings, so you don't have to take the headset off. Also, you can use some of that mixed reality to be able to use the Oculus without your controllers. You don't need your controllers. You can actually use hand gestures. And so you can type, you can do things like that, which is fantastic. And that's that mixed reality that you're going to get to be able to see your normal surroundings, but still use the Oculus to virtually do things. So that's kind of how that's explained. And it's very, very cool that you can do that with a $300 unit like this. And some other systems are just not using that, which they really need to kind of pick up, because I think that's where we're going, especially with things like the Apple new, you know, visor coming out, which is ridiculously priced and going to have some ridiculously cool things in it. That's kind of where we're at with mixed reality, and they definitely should start importing that into some of the PlayStation stuff as well. But different story, different topic. All right, some of the cool things that you can do with the Oculus as well is you can do a lot of social media things. You can do a lot with games. You have movies, TV. You can put your own movies. There's a app called Big Screen where you can literally watch movies in a theater, and you can also do, you know, office type stuff and all kinds of stuff. You know, watch TV apps and do all kinds of stuff with the integration of that movie app, the Big Screen app. So very, very cool there. So you can also do a lot of things with art. You know, you can like virtually draw stuff. You can do some desktop stuff with computers where actually it'll show you a keyboard and you can type and you'll see it on there. And so you can get a lot of things done with the Oculus that you can't do with some of the gaming ones, at least not right now with the apps and stuff that they're offering. Now, like I said, it absolutely could do it, but they're just not like showing those types of things right now. They're just sticking to the gaming market. So there's so much extra they could tap into that they're not, that the Oculus is. So very cool there. Some of the negatives that I will talk about is some of the, of course, it's going to have older screen resolution compared to the new OLED of the VR and things like that. The games, you're not going to get those AAA games that you might get with a VR system from PlayStation or stuff like that. The head strap, like I said, not all people are going to complain about it, but some people will complain about the head strap not being comfortable, so that's why they go ahead and pick up an aftermarket one, which, like I said, is still a cheap option and a lot cheaper than some of the other products that are out there right now. And this system does not have any kind of haptics or vibration sensors or things like that that you're going to get with, that's as intuitive as the PlayStation version. So you're not going to get some of those haptics that you're going to get with this unit as well. So some of the vibration within the unit itself, the head unit or the controllers and things like that. So just something to point out there. Definitely it's missing a few things, but it does a lot of things right for the price that you're getting it at. So a couple extra things that I want to talk about is just some extra things you might want to buy with this when you first get it, just to cover you. And like I said, one thing was this little extra adapter piece. Like I said, it has this on the nose part, which blocks out light. And that was very important because, like I said, the nose part on the actual Oculus was really long and it would let light in from where my nose is at. So buying that extra accessory blocked all the light out, so then you have a really good experience within the unit itself. So that's something, and it was only like 20 bucks. So that's something that you might want to pick up. A new headband with extra batteries is very, very cool, and you can pick those up between $49 to $80 depending on which one you're looking at. Just the actual headband is probably around $49, and then with an extra plug-in battery that plugs into the unit and gives you more battery life, could be around, you know, between those prices. Yeah, they're really, really cheap actually compared to some other brands out there. So something you want to look into. Basically a battery pack. So we didn't talk about battery life, but basically you're going to get about 2 hours of battery life with just the unit itself from what I've tested and what I've been able to get from it. So it's about long enough to watch a whole decent movie. You're not going to be able to watch the Avengers or anything, but it's going to be really, really close. And you might be able to get away with it, but it's going to be really close to those 2 hours of battery life. Now, with an extra battery pack, they have battery packs as low as $20. So you can get an extra little battery pack that plugs right into your Oculus system, and that's going to boost you up to around 2 to 4 hours, or maybe even a little bit more depending on what you're doing. And so a battery pack is probably a must if you're an avid gamer and you like to play longer sessions. Like I said, I'll play with this until the battery life is done. So a nice 2 hour sessions is perfect for me. And then I know I need to quit and go ahead and just charge the unit up. I haven't watched a lot of movies on this, but I have watched some TV shows and some YouTube on it, and it's fantastic. So I do like that, and it's no problem to get any of that done. So battery life is probably another negative on it because it's only 2 hours. I wish it was at that 3 hour mark because that would give you the capabilities to do most things. You could watch a really long movie, you could play a good game session, and that 3 hour mark would be just perfect. So I might probably invest in a little battery pack just so I have everything good and I could do a little bit extra if I wanted to, like watch a really long movie. Other than that, I think I got everything in, which is fantastic. I got some positives, which was pretty much everything I was talking about, the Oculus itself. And I got the negatives in with the screen resolution, the head strap. You don't get the sensors or the haptics with the vibration sensors on there. Up, and I wrote some quick notes, is the app. Now, it does have an app that goes along with your Oculus because it does hook into Facebook, and it's a lot like Facebook. So you have options to explore new things within that. You have a store, you have a search bar where you can search anything you need, you have a gallery where you can get into photos or get into things. You have a menu, so you have certain things that you can look into. It does hook into your Move app, so it tells when you're doing functions on there, and it takes that and puts that within your phone and that kind of stuff. Note, you get notifications on when games are on special or things that you put in your maybes list or wish list or things like that. It's going to tell you that on your Oculus when you're using it, that hey, this is available at this price, or this is available at those types of things. You can cast what you're watching in your VR to your phone. You can also do that on a computer, which is awesome. And it has social media capabilities with working with social media. You can do chat rooms, things like that, with apps as well. So it does have a lot of that type of capabilities, which is really cool for the price point, man. At $300 that we're back at. It does have your library, 2 of all your games it will show you as well. Now, I talked about games a little bit. We'll wrap that off with the games. Most of the game systems, like the PlayStation and the PlayStation VR, now the Oculus, PlayStation has some AAA games that Oculus does not, but Oculus does have a lot more games, in my opinion, than VR or than the PlayStation right now. So, and a lot of the same games, like literally you can play a lot of the same games on both systems with no problem. In my opinion, you know, the Oculus is still winning on games, in my opinion. They don't have some of the top tier VR, AAA games that PlayStation, but it's very, very limited right now. So you're still good with the Oculus right now. So game wise, I still give it to the Oculus, but PlayStation is going to be making some, they do have some AAA games that are better graphically and all that kind of stuff, and that are coming out that will, you know, surpass the Oculus 2 processing capabilities and, you know, screen resolution capabilities. So, but overall thoughts, top this off, is the Oculus Quest 2 still valid in 2023? And I'm going to say absolutely yes. It is. It is a portable, flexible, virtual reality unit that you can use to do all kinds of stuff. Mixed reality things, TV, games, YouTube. It has decent battery life. If not, you can pick up an accessory for around $20 for more battery life. So it is very inexpensive to get into the virtual reality world. Now, let's top this off with, they are coming out with the Quest 3. Should you wait? Should you just wait for the Quest 3? Well, the Quest 3 will be much improved from the top down, graphically, screen resolution, processor. It has different controllers now that kind of got rid of that top piece, and they just look like a little hand controller now. So I'll flash a little picture right now. So it definitely be remodeled from the top up, but it will come out in late fall this year, 2023. They're saying, you know, possibly September, November, December, somewhere in there, fall, late fall. But it will be $499. Now, they're still advertising the Quest 2. So I see no reason why they're going to get rid of the Quest 2. They're not going to, you know, stop making things for it, not allow you to use it, things like that. They are still advertising it, so it's still going to be valid for the next 2 to 3 years until they really start pushing the Quest 3 to get those units out. So honestly, I think the Quest 2 is a great value at $300. It's the best value you're going to find out there for the virtual reality platform right now, in my opinion. And it's still valid even though the Quest 3 is coming out, because they're still going to support it. They're still going to support it. It's going to be your entry-level model, and then if you want to upgrade it to the $499 Quest 3, that's going to be an option. But I still think if you want to get into the world of virtual reality, the Quest 2 is a no-brainer. It's portable. You can use it with other things like a laptop, but you don't have to. It's on its own, and it's very, very cool. So totally still good in 2023. I still think it's going to be good for the next 2 to 3 years. And you know, if you want to wait and go with the Quest 3 and save up a little bit extra money, an extra $200, which is pretty substantial when you're talking between a $500 item and a $300 item. It's pretty substantial. You know, you can absolutely do that, but I still think the Quest 2 is your golden ticket to get into the virtual reality world and still be able to do a lot of very, very, very cool things. So thank you so much for tuning in. It's been DJ Martini Midwest Reviews. If this was helpful at all or gave you any good information, please leave me a thumbs up. I got tons of more tech videos, value videos, tutorials, DJ things, all kinds of videos coming out this summer. So lock into this channel, join the Martini Nation, and hit that bell icon so you know when I put out my next video at DJ Martini Midwest Reviews. Catch you really soon on the next video.